And welcome back here to Chook Park for the second game of tonight between the Blue Warriors and the Brighton Bombers. Mr. Craig Schicker, we're joined by a very, very special guest and a legend of the women's game. Jen Adams, welcome to LSA TV, and what is about -4 degrees down here?
It certainly is cold, and thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So a tip on this game then? You know, obviously the Brighton girls really well, but the Blue Warriors, a joint team this year. We've got the Blues, Sturt and Woodville joining up. They've been playing exceptionally well. I think it was about a 5-goal game last time. A tip for tonight?
Yeah, no, I think very exciting on both sides of the ball. I think I've seen both teams play, and both are very athletic, and yeah, it's exciting stuff.
So Fuss with the ball now, just kick as Indy Williams brought that one down to her. Fuss kicks it down to Mel Williams, and all we need is Zeph out there as well, and we get the Williams trio. Yeah. And they always seem to come in to play well together, don't they?
Jen, it must be touching to see Mel still running around and having an impact.
It is awesome. I love to see it, you know. I certainly feel very old myself, so to see her out there with her tribe, it's very cool to watch and see. And
it is good.
She's still rocking it.
Yeah, she is. Still having an impact.
And speaking of rocking it, Addie Cunningham has been doing an outstanding job for the Blue Warriors this year, but just tosses that one up with an interception there. And Varga with the ball. And working it around. Doster kicks it down the bottom to Williams. And just looking at their offence early, Eloise Rowe with the ball here.
What was the score earlier in the year, Tone? We had a 4-goal difference, 10-6?
Yeah, it was a 10-6, about a 4 or 5 goal difference. It's Doster, she's been good, but Addie Cunningham says, not in my house, thank you very much. And she's brought some warmth to the goalie stick already tonight.
The warm-up was good. Warm-up was good for her. She's on fire early.
And Jen, I saw you were running around in a Div 2 game the other day with what I called Australia A.
I'm not sure you saw me running around. I think that's a fast stretch of the imagination. Probably ambling around the field is more like it. But yes.
Still got the fire in the stick, though, as the ball is turned over here with an outlet, Addie, just missing the outlet.
Must have felt weird, Jen, not sporting the number 7.
Yeah, very weird. I actually got back to my roots. I played in number 8 for the last couple of games, and that was my childhood number at Brighton. So
there you go.
Really neat to get back out there.
Yep.
Got to play with this big sis and got to play with my niece last week. So very, very cool stuff.
Good.
For me back here.
Very good.
And obviously Taylor out there this evening, running around. But Addie, another big save. Oh, is that one? Oh, that is all clear. Addie trying to get Nikki Voisey on that one, but Nikki right on the line. And we're going to see here on the Living Choice instant replay.
Good
shot
initial save.
Had there from, I think that was Indy that shot that one.
Yep. No, yeah.
So I don't think we actually picked that up. It looked like Indy
Williams,
shot it, but Addie doing her best there to but when her stick touches the back of the goals, it kind of might be behind the line. So great spot there from Nikki Voisey, and that's why we have these umpires. They're right on the spot and doing a great job.
They are.
So Indy Williams on the board first for the Brighton Bombers. 1-0 is the score. So yeah, I happened to mosey down to Glenelg to watch the games the other day when Brighton Glenelg were playing, and I was watching the Div 2 game. My daughter was in the cage for Glenelg, and she said, when Jen shot at me, I didn't see him. I said, well, that's how you get better.
Oh, gosh.
So
supposed to be here making friends, Jen.
I don't know if that's actually the truth. I'm not sure how many times I found it in the back of the net, but fun to get a run around out there. And
obviously a few of your Australian ex-teammates running around there too. I saw a few, and you must be enjoying, as said, running around with those ladies.
I am very much. It's been a long time since I've been back around this time of year, so getting to be back around lacrosse and around the club and getting to watch these players play and getting to play myself is very fun.
So Williams coming down the field here. Parker chasing, but Williams is carving up like butter. Looks over to the side. Good save there again from Addie. And she's got sticks chasing her everywhere, but she's a different type of goalie. As I said, the clearing at the moment seems to be the thing that if she can tighten up on her clearing, she's going to certainly push for those Australian sides. There's Tara Guerin gets under plenty of pressure there from Voisey and O'Malley. And O'Malley's been a really good inclusion for the Brighton team.
I'm sure they've welcomed her back. Recovering from a knee reconstruction too, I reckon, Tony.
Yes. And I see that Tommy and her may have got a house not long back.
Okay.
So good cut there from one of those young Woodville players in Mia Enge, but might have caught one across the back there, did Parker. Free flowing, let it flow. Rubbins racing. We like to see that. And here we go. Cassidy Doster kicks it over, and Brighton O'Malley, she doesn't mind throwing it from there either. And Cunningham coming out of the cage again. So it's certainly been a frenetic up and back to the start of this game. We have Brighton up 1-0 here at Chook Park. And I'm glad that wind's just died down a little bit. The beanie was starting to
quite cold.
Freeze up a little.
Quite cold, reminding you, Jen, of home, I guess. It can get quite chilly over there.
It is reminding me of the States, and usually I double up on my summers, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just about to ask you, like, coming obviously with the COVID epidemic that is around the world and being back here, you wouldn't have had too many winters in the last few years.
That's right. I've been very spoilt, so I figure... You know, I need to cop a little of my own, and in looking at these social media posts of people back in the States right now, really making sure they rub it in.
Yeah. Well, gee, you've made the most of your time here. It looks like you've covered nearly every corner of the state this time around with your extended stay here in SA.
Yes, indeed. It's been good to get out and about, and very lucky here in Adelaide that we've still had some stuff open. And
did you have to buy a beanie?
I did. I bought a bomber beanie.
I was going to say, I mean, I would.
Of course I did.
No, it's you wouldn't have had much need for it in the past with the summer.
Certainly did not. I came over with the intention to be here for about 3 weeks, and it's been extended to over 3 months now. So
yeah, hasn't it just been a crazy time?
Absolutely.
So the school's open, Jen, at the moment, or?
So Loyola, we just announced that we're going online for the fall.
Okay.
What that means for our student athletes right now. Still up for debate. We may be able to go back onto campus and train, but as of right now, their classes will be online and remotely done. So, yeah, lots of schools doing it differently, but they just made that decision today, actually. So.
And how far and wide do some of the girls come from? Canada, I take it. There'll be a few there. So do they go home during this time?
They did, yes. Yep. So they're back there and likely wouldn't return to Baltimore, to Maryland during the fall.
Yep.
So Doster with the ball here, just wore one in the back, so she'll take the ball for Brighton. Great pressure here in the defensive end, though, from the Brighton Bombers. And they haven't really been able to settle, have the Blue Warriors in their offensive end. As Mel just kicks that one over. And a little check there from Mel on Addie. And Addie is off to the races again under lots of pressure. And she keeps... And we're going to have are we going to have a card here? No? Yes, we've got a card. So obviously something was seen to be wrong there, and I think that's Zeph Williams sitting down for a yellow card for 2 minutes. Ground ball to be won on the outer side there. Good pick up by Kira Lee, but good defence there from the Brighton Bombers. Addie will be all over that one coming out the cage. And kicks it over here to Amy Butterfield, and hasn't got a card yet, Chicks.
No, it's only time. Time will tell.
So 2-0 here on the Living Choice scoreboard here at Chook Park. And maybe we will get to see the Blue Warriors just build into something, as you will build with traditional Verandahs, Carports, Roofing and Guttering. And you can get in touch with them on tradvc.com.au or 8376 3639 for all your building needs. Great sponsor of LSA TV. And if you are online, send us a shout out. We'll try and get to as many as we can.
Yeah, get the questions coming along here to the great JA7 while you can. Hey, Jen, it must be...
Cam Adams just sent that, JA7, with a love heart even.
Oh.
Hey, Cam.
What a gem.
God bless him.
And
here we go, Indy off to the races.
That's been very much the story of the night, hasn't it? Blue Warriors getting in their offense, just really not going that well. And then Indy just pops that one over the top. Indy chasing it down the back.
Jen, I was just going to mention, it must be pleasing to see the advancement to the game here in SA. I think your home club, Brighton, with the new club rooms down there, that's something to behold. And this Friday night atmosphere here, it's on under lights, on TV for the viewers at home.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It is great, and to see so much growth and things happening around the place, it is very, very exciting and great for the sport. And I even know I love when I'm back in the States and I have the opportunity to tune in and watch the Bombers play.
Yeah,
watching on LSA TV. So yeah. I feel like that in and of itself, really shrinks the world, I think.
It does, doesn't it? Hopefully pulls on the heartstrings for a little bit of homesickness here and there.
Yeah, for sure.
So ball just down the back here with O'Malley. Going about her work. Good
nice
cut there
card.
from
Thorne.
The ball was thrown, and we're going to have another card here. So cards being handed left, right and centre. Is that one going to Butterfield? Because I had her at $1 tonight for a card. No, that is Thorne.
Turnover.
Thorne is going to get that card for one up in the grill, so to speak.
Should have caught the pass. She's copped the ultimate penalty for it, hasn't she?
So Brighton with 2 early penalties, but nothing to show on the scoreboard the other end. And a couple of shout-outs here. We've got Michelle Pepper watching, Nicole Keesing. She obviously couldn't play tonight, as we see young Mia Enge just running down here. And Karen Meredith is also watching live and free. And Tony Stewart says Jennifer Adams.
Getting all the names out and about tonight.
There we go. So, but beautiful lights down here. You've been down and watched at North Adelaide a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I have. I haven't really missed a Bomber game yet. Had the good fortune of getting out and being able to catch them. A little bit of time on my hands right now.
Yep. You've got a few of your under-19 Australian girls that you'd be keeping a little eye on.
Yeah, that's right. Great to see them out playing and continuing to love it. And
such a strong group coming through there at Brighton. Keep the Bombers in good stead for time to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Bright future, here we go, sure. Enge. And there we go. Mia Enge with her first one of the young Blue Warriors.
She might have scored one earlier. Not tonight.
Not tonight,
but a week or two ago.
But good to see one of those young, it was only 14, 15? 15 young
yeah.
Mia Enge. So one of those young female players to watch as comes through the ranks, and there she is. She's quite happy about that, and she gets the Blue Warriors on the board. I was just about to say, every time Charlotte's had the ball there in offence, she's been picked up by Indy, and Indy shut her down 2 or 3 times and nearly turned over. So I wonder whether that's something they talked about pre-game for the Bombers.
Well, Charlotte's picked up on it. She's retreated down a defence now.
So obviously the Bombers still in a penalty situation here. Probably not a great deal left on that penalty. But Mia Enge with the first goal of the game for
Blue Warriors.
Blue Warriors. We've got a 2-1 game here. So a bit of up and back at the moment. The Brighton Bombers have certainly had more offence. But here we go. Olivia Parker winning that one against Doster as that penalty's been released now. And just asking everyone to get back. So Charlotte winning with the ball.
Big battle as always in the middle time between the memorial medalists.
Yeah, they don't mind it, do they? Taking votes off each other. So Parker with the ball. Gets Bianca McKay cutting through. You've got Annie Ritchie. She scored the game winner in the first game of the OT now. You like the OT out of the game, or the draw out of the game now, Jen?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Even over in the States, it's a rule. When I was on the rules committee that I was big on changing, was making us go to, with overtime, just first goal wins.
Yeah.
Rather than playing it out for extended
just an empty
period.
feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leaving it as a draw.
Absolutely.
Going home, sharing the points.
Yep.
And it's amazing how much the camaraderie, especially with this group, obviously with the Blue Warriors, got up over Wildy in that first ever game this year in the OT. But it builds camaraderie between the players, especially in a team that's been joined. And the Blue Warriors certainly doing a great job, as Fuss does a great job to get inside, pops that one down, but Cunningham with a big save.
Kick save.
So Addie's certainly come to play tonight. She's not going to let too much in her house. As we see there, just quickly on the replay, Fuss steps inside, pops it down, but Addie says not tonight. And we see Amy Butterfield just coming down the field, but Doster, she was quick enough to get back on.
Just lacking a little awareness there.
Maybe not enough talk there, Shix, from the girls around it.
It might be cold time, but the rain is staying away, which is good. A little windy.
And I reckon we're about to be 30 seconds here. I reckon the clock's about to come on the field. Oh, look at that. That's what you do when you watch the scorers. You
What
see
a
them,
professional.
you see them touch the bell. Well, I keep thinking these quarters seem to go so quickly these days with the 15-minute quarters. Oh, big push there. Got away with it. Good little quick stick, though, from Indy, but that ball's come out the back, and we've seen this a bit tonight with Addie Cunningham. Just under immense pressure from O'Malley, though. And there's got to be a spare player if...
Very good.
Wow. Under there. There we go. 2-1 first quarter. That's quite an entertaining game to start.
Yeah, what seemed to be a lot of control by Brighton. Probably not so much on the scoreboard, and Woodville were able to get one late. So 2-1 at the quarter.
So on Sue Morrissey says, yay, Mia. Donna Wood says, way to go, Mia. So, and Megan Inge says, that's my girl. So obviously really proud of the young Blue Warrior there getting on the board. And we see Lee Haskett also watching, and Chris Suvich watching on the live feed. And if you're watching on the Facebook, give us a shout out here and send us a message if you've got a question to ask of our very special guest here tonight, Jen Adams.
Yep.
I'm sure Jen would be up for answering most questions.
Most.
Most.
When was your last full year, Jen, for Brighton? Probably back, 97, 98.
You're pretty good, Shix.
First year over?
Yeah, you're right.
98,
You've been stalking me. What's this about?
No.
Just kidding. Yeah, 97.
That's enough for me, and it's been nice here tonight. I'm out.
Yeah, 97 was my
You know,
last
you can
full
check
year
to
back.
see on Facebook who's been actually looking at your
I need to get more
Facebook
savvy.
accounts.
I've got an alias. You'll never find.
All right, and we're going to hear here quickly as they go through the quarter time speeches from the coaches from our big sponsors.
I think Trish had asked about that, but yeah, I'm free. Do you meet with...
As we come back to the quarter time break here between the two sides, just going through their speeches. What do you reckon Trish would have been happy with that quarter there, Jen?
You know, if I put my
knowing Trish really well.
If I put my coach's hat on and I combine it with my sister hat, I think what you find there is she would have been saying put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, Addie's playing a great game, but I think they'll be looking to avenge their shooting percentage from last time against this team.
And you know what? I don't think Linton and Stefan would have been that upset, given the fact that it's a 2-1 game at quarter time. I mean, it looks like the Brighton Bombers have certainly had plenty of the ball, but if they continue to do that and Addie doesn't continue to make those saves, this game could open up quite quickly.
Yep. And at the other end of the field, well, the Warriors just need to get shots on the cage.
Well, they've had one shot, I think. Maybe two.
Yep.
And if they've had two shots, they're going at 50% at the moment. You wouldn't mind that as a coach shooting percentage?
Yeah. Percentage-wise.
Percentage-wise. If you have 80 shots a game, mate, and you're shooting 50%, it's a good day. So ball in the middle here, Doster. Up up against Parker by the look of it. I just can't see past Amy there, but she looks tall enough to be Olivia Parker. So ball to be won on the ground here. Mia fighting really hard there. Doster. And just has stepped out of bounds, I reckon. So that ball is going to be really good work there from young Mia Enge. And ball coming in to the offense here for the Blue Warriors. And if they could get one on the board early and just put a little bit of scoreboard pressure.
Yep, I agree there. But the battle so far has been Doster and Olivia Parker in the centre draw.
Has. And it's so pivotal, and Jen, I suppose, with the women's game, that centre draw is so pivotal in where contests end up.
Absolutely. You can change a game, having someone who can control things in there and take away a little bit of that 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
Give you better odds. You're always in good shape if you're winning at the centre.
Gee, didn't we see that at the U19 World Cup for the girls? They're so dominant in the US, weren't they?
Absolutely, yes.
Tall,
they had the big,
women.
tall
Very good.
centre draw player there that seemed to...
Maddie Jenner, yeah. I mean, over in the States, they have people that are draw specialists. They literally are on the field to take the draw, and then they come off and...
So the old Fogo.
Yeah, it's creeping into the women's game.
Tara Parker sneaking down the back pipe. Was that a score?
We'll see here on the Living Choice instant replay that ball just kicks down.
Good pass, wasn't it? Yeah, able to find
Tara Parker
in traffic.
And we've got a 2-2 game here. So for all those in internet land, tell us how you reckon this game will end up. Or we haven't had any questions from Jen yet. So Jen, maybe they're looking after you tonight.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Hey, maybe you've spoken to too many people that, and it's amazing the amount of coverage we do get here through the live streaming in Australia from different parts of the world. I know COVID Central at the moment love the fact that we're actually going live, so they actually get some lacrosse in Victoria. I know. Speaking to a few of the guys over there and girls that unable to be able to play this great game of ours. So any lacrosse they can get is wonderful. And the Freemans have joined the party. So Marilyn Fuss, Tom Freeman. Tommy Freeman says the GOAT. I don't know who he was talking about then. Sorry, Tommy. Paul Freeman's also online.
You eat like a goat, Tony.
Yeah, well, someone's got to keep this figure. So if without eating, it all goes away, Shicks.
So he could be referring to you, I think.
Well, he could be. Because it's definitely not the greatest of all time, I can tell you. So ball down here with Mel Williams.
Eloise Rowe and Doster.
Just a little two-man game here.
Yeah,
Williams.
Nice to Williams.
Very box-orientated, that little two-man game there, wasn't it?
Was, yep. Went in and awake to it and slid early.
And winning. She's got two. Mel Williams, just if a wood chop could chop wood. And try catching that one, Tam.
Falcon.
And that ball's coming over. And they could be coach killers, those unforced errors where you just miss your own player. And like now,
good save.
And Addie again in the cage, having to do some work when it could have been down the other end in some offence.
So, Jen, outside of your hectic program of coaching back home in, we call it home now, don't we, Baltimore in the US?
Home
away from home?
Two homes, yeah.
Yep.
US home.
So, outside of coaching, what keeps you busy?
Oh, it's a lot of lacrosse. I am very involved as the commissioner of the WPLL, the Professional Lacrosse League over there, so on the women's side.
What does that involve?
We're just in the summer, but games in the summer, and then a lot of publicity and promotions and marketing and things throughout the year outside of that. Obviously, with the global pandemic, that season was taken away this year. But yeah.
And we have a couple of Aussies playing in there. I would think Brighton's own.
That's right. Hannah Nilsson is over there. She used to be on the team that was originally from Philly. And
what were they, the Blaze?
No, actually, she was on the what were they?
Fire?
Yes, they are the Fire. She was on the Fire, and she was. They disbanded. We went down to 4 teams, and she's now part of the command.
And Abby Burgess, did she?
She did play in the inaugural year.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
So she played with Hannah. Yeah.
No other Aussies at this stage?
No.
Okay.
Hopeful and keep the pipeline alive, and really, really exciting stuff for for women and professional arena, and it's great to see people from other countries involved in that as well, not just the US players.
Yeah, yeah. Couple from the UK.
That's right. From a few from England, we've got Canada. Good solid group from Canada. So
anyone from the lesser likes, like European, Sweden, Jamaica?
No, we do have Japan.
Japan, yes.
Okay. And then we had a young lady from Hong Kong.
Lovely, yeah, great.
Yeah, so tapping into a few different areas.
Yep, that's good. All it takes is one trailblazer from the country to show the path.
That's right.
Yep.
Speaking of trailblazers, Addie Cunningham. Certainly good defence there from the Blue Warriors. There was a question online here, Jen, from one Jesse Winnan. He says, question for Jen, favourite flavoured popcorn?
Oh, boy.
There you go.
It's out there.
That's something Jesse would say.
Okay, well, I actually love kettle corn, which I'm not sure you can get here, but you can get it in the States.
Just write this down, Tones.
Kettle corn? No, they do actually have kettle corn.
Do they have
here
kettle
now.
corn? Yeah, you can get it in just like the bags that you microwave over there. It's quite a common flavour, and it's, I'm into it.
You're into that?
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. So we get asked all the big questions here.
Jesse is a massive fan of the cart that gets wheeled down Rundle Mall and parks up outside the old Myer Centre and just sells flavoured popcorn. What is it, honey popcorn?
Honey popcorn or caramel.
Is that right?
And the smell of it cooking just wafts down the length of Rundle Mall, and it excites the shoppers.
Obviously excites Jesse, and here we go, the Blue Warriors again.
Sounds like it excites Shika too.
Yeah, well, Jesse just has it all in his beard. And
as we see here, just as the ball comes out, and Brighton build into it again. tradvc.com.au, 83763639 for all your Verandahs, Carports and roofing and guttering needs. And the Blue Warriors did a great job of shutting the offence down the last time. And Cassidy Doster, especially with Olivia Parker, went at it 3 or 4 times, but it went down the other way. But that's got to kill you. Look, as coaches, there is nothing worse than those unforced errors when you get it into your offence after playing defence, good defence, and you just throw the ball at someone's feet. So that'll be something you work on very highly, Jen, the skill set with throwing the ball to a stick on a shoulder.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I think those unforced errors always are the ones that shoot you in the foot. You know, as a coach, you're looking to keep those low. High shooting percentage and low turnovers are 2 of the key ingredients, I think, to every win. So,
and especially with those turnovers that you can control yourself, as Innie Williams just tries to part the sea. But she's going to get the ball back here. As you say, if you can limit your turnovers in a game, and there are I'm coaching Sturt at the moment, and we have a really young group who often give up about 20 a game.
Oh, a little backhander, the old Dawn special.
Yeah.
She lives along in the Brighton ranks. Doster there with a little backhander. That was a beauty. Winding the clock back.
Addie Cunningham just getting the first on there. Doing a great job. So Butterfield with the ball. The 2 sixes against each other here. Williams, Butterfield.
Oh, good check.
And Zephyr Williams, who got a bag full the other day with 6 goals, I believe, Zeph.
She did.
With some really good defence there. Kicks it to Eloise Rowe.
Good control by Eloise Rowe. As the girls set up high. Plenty of space down low, but Charlotte...
Good work there from Abby Thorne, but Bianca McKay up to the challenge. So this will be a good challenge here. Young Michaela Ritchie against Cassidy Doster. And Cassidy Doster just shows that little bit more experience.
Just body position, wasn't it?
Picked the match up, and Michaela Ritchie, as we see here on the Living Choice instant replay, squared herself up and gave her no real place to go, did she? There's no real pressure on that. What would you advise if she had that again there, Jen? If in that defensive position?
As a defender, yeah, I think she, like you said, she just squared up. So a little stab step there from Cassidy and frees the feet. That's what, as a good attacker, that's what you want to look for, is catch them flat-footed. And so I would maybe be on balls of her feet a little bit more, maybe open up and force in a direction. But
loosen up the shoelaces, get those ankles.
Tough to do. Cassidy is a quick quick mover out there, a little shake and bake.
So you just look to take away a strength, right, Jen? You do what you can do as a defender. You take away the left-hand side of Cassidy, make her beat you on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think in those you definitely want to send towards some defensive help and all be on the same page, and that's the toughest part of defense. But with someone like Cassidy, probably need some help coming.
Yeah.
Close the gaps.
So Cassidy on the board again. We've got a 3-2 ball game. It's still really quite low scoring, this game. I was expecting a real open game with plenty of scoring opportunities, but Doster with her second of the game there. She always manages to, I think she's leading the scoring now in the LSA League.
Yep.
And Brighton will be very happy that COVID hit and she decided that it's a better option to be staying in Adelaide. Oh, trying to get through there was Annie Ritchie, but shut the gate. And it's out the back here, and this is dangerous. Butterfield, though, drops in the hole. You've got Taylor Mangan out the back. Doster, again, just too easy to get past. And missed the ball, but we had a whistle there before all of that.
Now, Jen, with pro sport opening back up in the US, basketball's back on, NBA, MLB's on, NFL announcing that they're going to be going as per usual, I think. Lacrosse can't. Well, lacrosse's away, of course, aren't they? The pros are on.
The PLL, yeah. Watch the semi-finals today.
Yeah.
Very exciting lacrosse. They're doing a great job over there.
So the NCAA can't be too far away, let's hope.
Yeah, I think it's been a struggle with most of the opening. I know the MLB had some tough time.
So we see here on the Living Choice instant replay. Doster again with the ball at the top. Steps down, says thanks very much, and she gets her third of the game. And
We'll answer some questions.
have we got any questions there, Shix?
We do.
What have we got?
We got Ellie Cope. Question for Jen.
Yes.
What's the most exciting new thing about how the game is being played in the US?
Yeah, a couple of years ago we put in, and I was really fortunate to be in a room, but we made some really major rule changes in the States in terms of free movement and going to the possession clock, the shot clock, and it's really sped up the game and enabled us to showcase the athleticism of players over there, and I love it. I love watching it.
So what are we talking, 45-second type thing?
We're actually 90 seconds from possession.
Okay,
yeah,
the goal position,
yeah, it just rewards really good defense. Obviously, you have to play it out. 90 seconds is quite a considerable amount of time, and it just prevents the stall ball. So that side of it has made it far more exciting, and just in general, the promotions, the marketing, the following. We're getting a lot more women's lacrosse on TV, and that's getting it to the masses and making fans out of non-lacrosse players, and that's, I think, the biggest thing, the most exciting thing that I'm seeing over there.
Yeah, yep.
And a huge save there just from Maddie Cunningham as we were asking the question. But Cassidy Doster getting open again, and we see there Beth Varga just nailing Amy Butterfield, and she's had enough. She goes, let's sub. Done my work. I keep running into two players there. So Doster really starting to put her name up here again, and she's loving the opportunity to be playing lacrosse in Australia. And how do you find that, Jen? Obviously, you've got the major leagues over there, but you do this real college thing, and they don't have the team aspect. I mean, there's the carnival side of lacrosse games over there. It's a real shame that they don't have leagues like we do in South Australia and throughout Australia to go on from their college ball.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and that's where obviously the pros is great. They're just getting around, and they're tournaments, and they're really social kind of events, and they're fun, but yeah, you can't really play competitively unless you're playing now in a professional league. So it's a side of South Australian and Australian general lacrosse that's really neat.
It's that family atmosphere, isn't it? But you do get 4 or 5 years of intense club
over here, and the first thing is, wow, this is so good.
Yeah, it is neat. I've had a couple of my Loyola players come over and play, and they just have such good things to say, and to be around families down the club and to get the opportunity to just mingle in a social setting but still compete. It's a really, really cool aspect of sport and culture in Australia.
As we see the
can I just sneak in
sorry,
another question?
Yeah, no, go your hardest
there,
there,
question here for Jen. Neil Parker's asked, is there a relegation and promotion type scenario in the women's college lax? There's not, is there? The Div 1 is the Div 1 and the Div 2 is the Div 2?
Right, yeah.
Maybe he's
I gather thinking like the English Premier League?
Yeah, maybe he's asking, how can a Div 2 team become a Div 1 team?
Right. That's really based on your school, and there's a certain amount of programs and funding that needs to happen from within the institution and the university in order to be considered a Division 1 or Division 2 or Division 3. So it's not really about where you rank or how you play. Some of the Division 3 or Division 2 teams would beat Division 1 teams.
Yeah.
It's really about size and funding.
Okay.
As we see the whistle go there, Natalie Owens blows it up, and we have a right there. It was a 3-2 game. Now we're out to 5-2 game in the blink of an eye, and Brighton just starting to assert their superiority as they have been in this league for the start of this year. And at 5-2 the half, the Blue Warriors, I think they'll still be pleased with that at 5-2, keeping Brighton to 5 goals.
They would be. They'd like a couple more. I'd like to see the shot count for the Blue Warriors. I don't know if they've. I don't know if they're throwing the amount of shots on goals that they would like to be.
Yeah, I reckon they've probably only had maybe 4.
Yeah.
Haven't had too many. Any more questions there for Jen while we're
yeah, there is. Before she
sitting here
shoots
freezing?
Off, we'll just shoot one more across it, or 1 or 2 maybe.
Okay.
Serious question for Jen.
Ooh.
Are there opportunities for international players to get drafted into Women's Premier League? Is it something young girls in Australia can strive for, or is it a competition for the US college athletes coming out of school?
No, there's opportunities for anyone in the world, really, globally. The tough part is exposure and getting seen by those program coaches. So we're down to 4 pro teams over there right now, and it's getting exposure to one of them seeing you and wanting to draft you.
Yep.
But anyone can be in the draft process and put their name into that mix. A little bit harder maybe now from over here.
Tryout type thing? Can you rock up on a tryout day like a NFL type scenario, or?
They don't actually have like combines or tryouts over there. They did for the original start of the league, but since its inception and they've got enough players into the league right now, they're able to kind of just draft new college players that have just finished up college. And then also, like I said, we went over and did a training camp in Japan and did a draft camp over there and picked up some players.
They've really improved in lacrosse in general across the men's and women's game, Japan.
Absolutely. And it just, obviously they're late to the sport. Most of them start playing post-collegiately or in college. And so with how quickly they pick it up, and they're so athletic and so disciplined, and we're seeing at the world stage, it's not going to take long for Japan to really...
No, well, I saw that going back earlier in the year when Japan and the US had a bit of a game of the men's game, Japan were up for most of the game. And I know the US were running a fair roster through there, but it shows the work they've done. I was over in South Korea last year with the under-23 Auspacks, and Japan obviously asserted their authority in the final against Australia. But on that, Australia actually do a really good job, given the fact that we have what we call a probably amateur league compared to the US in where we sit in world lacrosse.
Yeah, I'm enamoured every time I come home. It's something I'm so proud of, I think, to the funding that exists in these other countries, even England right now, their government funding is through the roof, and, they're supported so well in that regard. And then for us, to still be so relevant and go to World Cups and compete, when you think about how many people in these other countries and how much opportunity they're given, it is something that, as an Aussie, you are so proud. I come
the
back
old Aussie
and
battler, isn't it? We always bat above the weight.
Well, the reality is, Jen, how many contact hours do you have with your playing group during a week?
Yes, I mean, I'm with them over 3 hours, 6 days a week.
So compare that to maybe 1.5.
2 nights a week, if they turn up.
Correct. So
maybe they just turn up 1 night a week.
The onus is really put upon the individual here in Australia to go out and do your program, be involved in the Aussie setup. We'll come together. You know how hard it is just being involved in the 19 girls.
Yeah.
It's so hard. We're so far and wide. Money's not in abundance here in Australia for the game, so it's...
Well, we're self-funded at the end of the day.
Yeah, go away, do the program, and we'll meet at this time, and we'll have 3 days, and we'll put the game plan together, and we'll go to the World Cup and wish for the best.
Yeah, and it is really remarkable.
Yeah.
Which makes it, and obviously with Trish at the moment, with that Aussie group that potentially World Championships are next year, it's a really unique situation at the moment with COVID, with not having the Victorian squad members, and South Australia can train and WA can train, but certainly puts a spanner in the works, doesn't it? at the world
Yeah,
level?
look, makes a tough situation even tougher. You know, remotely here in Australia, it is difficult with the distance you need to travel. I know when I watch the US get together and they're talking about travelling, you know, maybe a longest car ride is 4 hours, but if they're having to fly, you know, the US lacrosse is picking up that cost for them, and a lot of, you know, the hurdles are taken away for them. But I think that's one of the things that makes Australia so great is we jump those hurdles and we still are able to show up and compete and be competitive and strive for medals at World Cups. And I think that's something that we as a country should be very proud about.
Should be very proud of our gold medal World Cup winning girls of years gone past.
And the bronze medal from
And
last
the bronze,
year.
of course,
Hey,
yeah.
under 19. Don't forget those. They were heavy medals too, just quietly.
Bronze dip gold, we call that one.
They were big, heavy medals.
Yeah.
When I got back, I may have taken Addies away from her at Sturt when I was up there and went, I'll take that.
Well, we were laughing. We were comparing that big, heavy bronze, really cool-looking medal to our under-19 gold medal, which was a
95.
It had a little
Chalk and cheese.
It had a little, I think, blue tack holding the plaque on the back, and it was the size of a 20-cent piece with a ribbon around it. So times have changed.
And Blue Warriors in attack here as we are speaking to Jen Adams. If you've just joined us on LSA TV Live, Craig Schickett, Tony Watts. And we are seeing an offensive situation here for the Blue Warriors. As Bianca McKay just trying to do everything. There's no movement. I'm going to say right now, there's no movement from the Blue Warriors. They're watching one person do everything.
Yep.
And you see down the other end when Brighton get the ball, there's cutters left, right and centre, and there's off-ball movement. But at the moment, everyone's standing around watching Annie Ritchie and what she's going to do. Now Olivia Parker gets the ball. And she's, you know, they're all sort of... And I think that's the first save that the Brighton keepers had to make tonight.
Susie Lane, she's on fire.
1 from 1 in the
good clear
shots on
that
hasn't gone in. So, and we obviously are coming into an environment, Jen, with potential Olympic games. The 6v6 game, is that getting much coverage through the US at the moment?
It is. There's a lot of trial games going on. I actually was down in Florida last November and had an opportunity we drafted together kind of an all-star pro women's group that played against Team USA and played in the 6v6 and
how did that go?
It was awesome. It was an incredibly fast-paced game. I think the one thing both teams, it's a 45-second shot clock, so a little bit quicker, and I think there was just too quick of a sense of urgency. There was no settle and no strategy to it. So
Yep. And on the so that's the great news about that Olympic sport, the push for the Olympics. The sad news is, of course, the leaving behind at the moment of the European nation.
Right. Yeah.
The creators.
It's tough, and there's a lot of good arguments for that right now. And I think trying to work up the chain of command to get in as an independent nation, or
well, you see
dual citizen them with Australia, something like that. Yeah.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Don't mind that.
Yeah.
We've had a touch on it. I know in January when we were over for the Aussie things in Melbourne, and we played a few inter games, but it's certainly like the women's game would adapt to that really well. Like the men's game a little bit, take the defenders out, and especially with the bags that most of the blokes have in their stick. Shooting. You wouldn't be a keeper for anything in the world in one of those games.
Yeah, you certainly get peppered with the ball. But I do think, the big push, and it makes a lot of sense, is to keep the disciplines as they are, to still be able to play a World Cup, but then the opportunity to go to the Olympics, for it to even get past and get Olympic ring sponsorship. There's a lot of things that had to go into play in terms of how many people you would need. So really cutting the rosters down and making it a shorter field and providing those opportunities. So
you don't have Olympic coach on your resume yet? Any plans to have Olympic coach on your resume?
Oh, look, if and the hopes is in my lifetime it does get to the Olympics, and it's obviously every little kid's dream is that they can represent their country in the Olympic Games. So if that's later in life, I'll go be a water girl on the sideline. You can give me any job, I'd go to the Olympics.
Just to visit the village, right?
Yeah, just to be part of it. I think it obviously would be something that was really cool. But I do think, as much as it might change some discipline of the game, creating a bit of a different version, being able to drop a bunch of sticks, in the middle and saying, here, pick up this game, and making it kind of easier to understand on both sides, I think is what we need globally.
Well, I mean, a similar exercise happened with rugby union.
Yeah, and you look at the rugby sevens now. That outside competition of rugby sevens, they've made it a real festival that everyone just goes there, and it's a real festival where there's lots of drinking, lots of fun and frivolity, and
easy for you to say that.
No, it wasn't. Abby Thorne. I was just thinking, for the viewers, Abby Thorne obviously getting one on the board there. We're at a 7-2 game here. Sue Macca McSolvin OAM says, "Love you, Jen."
Ah, Mac. One of the best to ever play the game and don the Aussie jersey.
And Greg Mollison says nothing better.
OAM.
Greg Mollison says nothing better than 95.
There you go. Little first ever under-19s, the inaugural.
Kath.
We're at Kath Conady,
Yep.
was the head coach, and we're able to scoop up a gold.
Yeah, what a. Is there vision of that floating around? Jen, is there video? Maybe on the.
I don't know. I don't know. Did they have? I don't know if they even had that kind of technology back then, Shika.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, come a long way.
Be good to see.
Mel Williams was on that team, which is pretty neat, out there playing today. So,
and just
a sense of
she obviously won the best on ground 2 years ago in the grand final for Brighton.
She did.
And still just does her thing, doesn't she, Mel? When you think her two daughters are running around out there ripping it up as well.
No, always been a bit of a magician. Good to see her still playing.
There we go, one of the young magicians just trying to get through. Plenty of body work there as Mia Enge goes about her state league career. She's certainly got some upside. She works fairly hard off the track. Or off the.
Does a lot of work with shooting, so this would be an interesting play here. See what she does.
She's got Abby Thorne and Indy. Oh, and Abby Thorne just shut that down.
Yep.
So, again,
learning curve.
Those unforced errors can come back to haunt you. As Bianca McKay picks the ball up. So 7-2 here it is in the third. And how is the feeling over in the US and through Canada, with the Olympic side of things? Are they really excited through the colleges and through that this may be a potential something that goes on?
Yeah, I definitely think everyone is excited about the opportunity for the Olympics. I think, though, in a lot of those countries, or certainly Canada and the US, they have these great opportunities in the pro leagues and high-level lacrosse outside of it. So certainly appeals, I think, will have a lot more luster to someone like Australia or to some of these other countries which don't get that kind of exposure as frequently. So.
Yeah, I always thought about it, and obviously being involved with the men's side. You go to a World Championships and you have 23 players, and the US, Canada, potentially, they're 23 are, any one of them can start, any one of them can be in a position, and you get to Australia and you probably, you're in that 16 mark that you've probably got some that just, there's not the depth, but you come to the Olympic game with, 10 players, one coach, and it evens things up slightly if you get your best 10 on your best 10.
Yeah, and I think that's a really promising and kind of exciting part of what will happen with that smaller roster version. I think the depth is where a lot of teams get nipped at a World Cup, and where we're going to always struggle when you have the ability to select from so many people in the States and Canada who are playing the game at a high level frequently. So to think about smaller numbers, I think bodes really well for a country like us where we are so successful and we do compete, and to think about having a narrow roster size and being able to show our 10 up against the world's best 10 is back us in a lot of those situations. So that is something that I think for the growth of the sport in our country is big.
Well, I think that exposure, as you say, that exposure that we will get when it becomes at that level, I don't think people realise how big that exposure is and just what it will mean to the game. And I know the traditionalists out there going, it's not the same game, it's not what we do. But if we can bring money to the sport and highlight the sport as a whole, as we see a highlight there from Olivia Parker picking that one up and getting one on the board, that's a huge plus to our sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think any exposure is good exposure for our game, and you know, I think just having the Olympic rings and being able to use those in terms of getting government grants, in terms of being considered a legitimate sport that deserves funding and can fight for some of that stuff. That's where it becomes really important, I think, to get back into some institute of sport, possibly in the States as well. Without having that Olympic ring, you can't do that. So.
And speaking of funding, if you had some spare funding right now, would you not, and wanted to do something around your house, go to traditional Verandahs and Carports Roofing and Guttering for all your home needs on tradvc.com.au 8376 3639. They do outstanding work, and if you've got some money to spend, I'm sure that they will. You will get the most out of it with them. As the ball comes back into the middle here, great pick up there from Michaela. Just pops it out to Bianca McKay, and here's an opportunity now again for back-to-back goals with for the Blue Warriors, and it's 7-3 at the moment.
I wonder if Traditional could get over to Baltimore, Jen, and just extend the garage there with the.
Take care of some on the roof deck.
We're going to have a card here. I reckon there was
dust
some
collection in the garage.
Dahlia may have had some verbal there, I reckon. She gave Nat just a little bit of, I don't think that was quite there. And now they're going to be an opportunity here for back-to-back goals to bring it back to 7-4. Steps in. Oh, good defence, though, from Brighton. And O'Malley gets in there. So how long have you actually been in the States now, Jen?
So I went over in 98.
I got grilled for that earlier, remember?
Yeah.
I'm just bringing it up again, Chicks, because I know you got grilled.
I know. I started after I'd been there for half of my lifetime. I think I stopped counting. But, yeah.
So we talked about pathways or like following a path over there. The great Sarah Forbes, she was pretty much the trailblazer, wasn't she?
Absolutely.
Followed
Her and
by
Sasha Newmarch, yeah.
Trish had a little spell over there, and then I guess the wave sort of came through in a way. Another Brighton girl, Sonia, who's just down the road from you, right? She's similar, sort of a neighbour.
Yep.
You guys catch up at all?
We
over
do.
there?
We do.
That's good.
Still very close friends. So.
That's great.
Yep.
So coaching over there at the moment, you've got Hannah, obviously yourself. Adam Sears is with...
He's an assistant at Michigan under Han, yeah.
Any other Aussie coaches over there at the moment?
Yeah, and Sonia, who's at Townsend.
Sorry, Sonia.
Yeah.
At Townsend.
At Townsend, yeah. I think that's all we've got right now. You've got Beck Lane, who's helping out while she finishes up school at St. Joe's.
Okay.
In Philly.
Yep.
So speaking of pathways for players, coaching, how did you find yourself into the coaching gig through the US? Was it something that you, obviously coaching something you fall into?
Yeah, I had a great college experience. I loved my experience through college, and throughout summers over there was doing a lot of summer coaching gigs and to make some extra money. And obviously I loved coaching. I grew up coaching through the Brighton ranks. I think as soon as I got out of the one junior year, I was coaching it the next year, and I attribute a lot of that to going over there and really valuing and appreciating and never taking for granted the opportunity to do it and get paid for it. So when the opportunity kind of came up for me at Maryland after I graduated, I jumped at it. I think the opportunity to give back some of the experience that I had, but also to be combining my passion with my career is pretty unbelievable, and still pinch myself every day because I don't want to tell Loyola this, but I would do what I do for free. So.
Yeah, we can cut that bit out.
Yeah, you just censor that, like bleep that one out.
But obviously, yeah, look, there may be coaches within Australia who want to follow those pathways. You know, any advice for those?
Yeah, you know, I think the tough part is visas and things are just so difficult now. I think Han's been through it, I've been through it. Sonia got hitched, so she didn't have to go through it.
Okay.
But no, it's tough. But I do think, you know, as jobs apply, there are so many opportunities in the States, whether it's Division 1, 2 or 3. There are so many open jobs, and a lot of the time we're having kids straight out of college taking these jobs. So there's not enough people to fill the coaching role, which seems crazy to an Australian.
And like you said earlier, like the attraction may be to go to one of the big Div 1 schools. However, it could be just as attractive to go to a large Div 2 school or Div 3 school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you learn to coach when you coach lower sides, or with a little bit more headaches, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Well, like I said, a lot of it's funding and it's different ways of funding. So a Division 3 university doesn't give out athletic scholarships, a Division 2 does, but doesn't necessarily mean the standard is any better or worse. And that's a tough thing for us to understand over here. Division 1, 2, and 3 seem like you're grading them by
1, 2, 3.
how
we
good
would.
you are.
You'd have Div 1, Div 2, Div...
Right.
Yep.
When it's got nothing to do with how good you are.
We're a
into
little bit
where you
like
rank.
Last Chance U over here.
I love that. Love that show.
Awesome. It's awesome.
The O'Malley just picking the ball out. She just scored a goal then, so for all of those, and we're really grateful to have Jen Adams on with us on LSA TV, so, and giving us an insight into the workings of the US college system. As Indy Williams, now she obviously can play the next under-19 women's. That's exciting for Australia.
Yeah, I think any double ups.
Yeah.
As she just goes about it on cue, as we're talking about it.
Any of those players that can get one under their belt and go back, I mean, it's such an advantage.
There might have been 2 or 3. Were there Jen, Eloise Rose slot into that?
I'm actually not,
age group?
not
Osha
sure.
Levy?
I thought only OSHA, actually.
I thought,
Yeah,
I thought Indy and OSHA were the only.
I
I
don't-
reckon Indy's too old. isn't she?
Yeah, I think
reckon?
Indy's too old also.
Yeah.
I could be
Okay.
mistaken, but I
Okay.
believe only OSHA coming
Okay.
out of the last one.
Yep.
So she's changed clubs in WA, moved to Wembley from the powerhouse of Freo.
Oh, really?
And she's throwing fours
What
and
does Gav?
fives
What does
and,
Gav think about that?
Gav's a
He's a father.
he's a realist and
Yeah.
knows that to get the best out of yourself, you have to challenge yourself. So she's gone to a lesser like, I guess you would say. I think East Freo won the last 3 or 4 premierships over there, and it was all becoming a little bit too easy. And she thought, I want a new challenge, and that's to go and help bring up another club, I suppose. As a 15, 16-year-old girl making
That's
those
a
decisions,
huge
that's,
decision.
Pretty mature.
Just starting to open up this game here as we see another one there from O'Malley. She has 3 now on the board, I believe, or maybe that's her 4th.
Last 2 at least.
So
anyway.
3 in the quarter, sorry. 3 in the quarter does O'Malley, and she's just starting to assert her domination. And good that, there's an amazing amount of young female lacrosse players at the moment, and I've watched it over the last couple of years through the nationals and through the underage nationals. Women's lacrosse in Australia is in a good spot at the moment, Jen.
Yeah, it is really exciting. And to have been a part of the last under-19s and had an opportunity to work with our up-and-coming superstars, I think, the future is very bright. You've got a lot of athletic players who are involved in the sport and who are really, I think, passionate about it and also just hardworking. I think really putting in the hard yards and the work, and I think they're seeing what it takes to make it to the next level, and they're willing to do it. And I think you're not getting them stolen away by your footballs and some of these other sports that can fund better, which is always something that I think we've been worried about.
Yeah, of
but to see we're retaining some really phenomenal athletes who are just are really going to make it on that next level. So it's great.
Yeah.
And 3/4 time here in the game between Brighton and the Blue Warriors, and Brighton just asserting their muscles in that quarter, and we're out to a 10-3 game here. So Brighton just getting away late in that third.
Big quarter, Colleen O'Malley.
And she had 3. We might go through some goal scorers while we're sitting here next to the fire chicks. The only thing we don't have is a port and a red wine. So Doster has 4, O'Malley has 3. Abby Thorne has 1 and Indy Williams 2. That's their 10.
Yep.
And for the Blue Warriors, we've got Mia Inge got on the board first. Olivia Parker with 1. And I'm struggling to remember.
I think Olivia got 2 in the
Olivia
end.
got 2, sorry. Yep, sorry. Can't even see my writing there.
Yes.
So Olivia with 2 that quarter. Yeah, that's about where it sits at the moment.
Very good. We're going to go to a short break here.
We might just have a quick 5 minutes, and then we'll be back for the last quarter here on LSA TV, brought to you by Living Choice and Traditional, and obviously AussieLaxGear.com.au for all your Aussie lax gear. Get in touch with Pete Greenow. He will look after you on AussieLaxGear.com.au. We'll see you very shortly. And we Jen just had to shoot off there. Shix, we really thank her for joining us on LSA TV Live, and just keep your eyes out for the next In the Crease episode, because we may just have something exciting there too.
Yeah.
Up and coming.
Yep.
That's
Not confirmed.
That's the hook, though, isn't it?
That's
the hook.
Yeah.
It's like fishing.
Yeah, you're right.
Just get him in. Get him in.
Got to burley up, you reckon?
Oh, we haven't seen the fastest shot for a while out in the in the crease, and we've got some potential. So, but back to the game here with potential 10-3.
Yep.
Potentially, Brighton could really take this one away from the Blue Warriors, but it'll be good to see a fight. And I'm going to say I've been really impressed with young Mia Inge tonight.
Good start.
Olivia Parker, that's that battle that you love in the centre.
Yes.
With that centre draw there. Shix, as Abby Thorne just does the splits.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be watching the fight here of the Woodville girls and their movement in attack, and that's taking on a little bit too many. Probably needs to offload the ball a little earlier. She'll get her time again, Olivia Parker. And that's older sister Tara going through X.
Got a nice goal earlier, pardon me.
She did. Mia Inge found her on the back corner.
Talking and breathing at the same time, Shix. Who would have thought? And Charlotte's been very quiet tonight, but not like that. And she says, well, if you're talking about me, I may as well get some jobs done. And that's Charlotte's first of the night, I reckon.
Breathing a little bit of life to the Blue Warriors.
And Keely Yates says you should try coaching under eights. Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, herding cats.
I remember back in my footy days, Shix coaching under eights. And boy, wasn't that a group of ants just running around in one pack. They really needed that 6-6-6 thing back in the day, because to have 36 blokes around a ball and it moved about a metre and then, right, blow it up.
Yeah.
Blow it up. So good job there from Olivia Parker, but coming back the other way now. Indy Williams just, get to pick. That's, how many minutes is that in men's lacrosse for that bar check?
Play on.
Play on, is it? I don't know what.
Certainly a minute.
Certainly a minute,
yeah.
but.
You can't rough up the rib cage like that.
So Indy steps in. Addie, good save again.
Check.
Addie's been really good in the cage too. That's in the crease, so she can go. Oh no, we're going to bring it back.
Should get it back here though.
Just a Mel. So Kira Lee. And they've looked for Tam on this clear a couple of times.
Okay.
But just milling. This is that one I loved when they flick out over the back. They presented the ball, but we saw it in the first game. And there we go, Tam again. So she seems like a real outlet player for that clear. But O'Malley.
Are Brighton setting traps there, or is that?
And just running into numbers there is Butterfield. Kicks it over. Kicks it up to Bianca. She's actually, it's amazing how quick Bianca actually is. I've been amazed with Bianca McKay's speed.
Well, she's part of the Redhead Brigade, Tony, and they have special powers.
Special?
Special powers. Superpowers.
Superpowers, as Olivia Parker gets a double.
Two to the ball and then just
pumps the crease.
Very poor bowler. Talk about coach killers.
Probably not the idea at the time of the game.
Doster in the midfield. This is where she's most dangerous, and she can whip away here. Beats one.
Oh, Megan Inge said Tara bagged one. That's right. We missed Tara's, so apologies.
No,
that was the one. She came around the little bottom corner there, didn't she?
No,
at the top from the feed in.
Feed from Mia at the
That's right.
Yeah, lovely little find.
So thanks, Megan. Yep. Keep us honest. That's what we like.
That's right. So Mia Inge down here defensively now on Abby Thorne, who had a great World Cup, didn't she?
And that is home and hose, and Abby Thorne gets another one. Score goes out to an 11-4 lead. And really great to have Jen Adamson with us tonight. Shix.
Yeah, she's a keen supporter of Brighton. Not only her niece playing, Taylor Mangan, isn't it?
Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor Mangan, yeah. So
she's out here tonight, number 19.
Yeah,
Taylor.
So here to support Trish, I suppose. But not only that, I mean, She loves coming back and just being involved in any way with Brighton. Just loves the club. It's good to see.
So 11-4 is the score here. And it's actually...
It's turning out to be a nice night.
It's turning out to... I was just about to say that. It may be the heater behind us.
If you're an igloo.
If you're an igloo, it would have melted, given we've got this little bit of...
Yeah, true.
To set the scene.
Eloise Rowe taking them on, flipping off to Varg. Is it? Yeah, Beth Varg.
Yeah, they really like that little flick at the top, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Brighton at the moment. Just that little flick.
help.
O'Malley.
Good help, D.
There's a little backdoor cut there, but good work there from Inge to cover that. Taylor Mangan. Here's his little flick one.
Oh.
Just missed it. It's certainly something they've worked on, isn't it?
Looks like it. They're trying to get nice little dump.
Oh, looks inside. Good save from Cunningham. And that was Mangan, I reckon, that shot that one. So good shot, but and there should be open players here if they look up, because under immense pressure might be some bubble popping going on there. I reckon. O'Malley playing great defence, and this could hurt. Kicks it into Zeph Williams, and
cashing in.
Just plenty of pressure being shown there by O'Malley.
Yep.
Really good defensively, as we see here on the Living Choice instant replay. O'Malley picks the ball up, finds Zeph Williams, and not much you can do about that when you've been into attack and the ball turns over quickly. And another goal to the Brighton Bombers. They are 12-4 now.
Yep.
And what's happening in the men's game tomorrow, Shix? A couple of big games tomorrow.
A couple of big games. I know that North Adelaide are venturing out to West Beach to play the Seahawks.
That'll be a big game down there,
yes,
off the break.
Off the break, that's right. Seahawks renowned to be quite a little slow after the bye.
And we've got Brighton and Burnside.
Burnside.
In the grand final rematch.
Of course. Yep. After Brighton got the honours early this year.
That'll be interesting to see how Burnside pull up. They obviously came and...
the bye couldn't have come at a better time. But however, they did come off a nice win.
They did come off a nice win against North Adelaide. And North Adelaide were, shall I say, cock a hoot when they went out there.
I like what you did there.
Hey? So they came off a big win. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring for the second half of the season. Obviously, having that Woodville beating them, they've got that game to turn around with score
They do.
advantage.
It's a lovely little drive back corner.
Really good there from no goal.
No goal. Well.
Okay, kicks it up to Butterfield.
Oh.
Butterfield just needs to get the ball and run, but she's got Doster on her. She can keep going. She'll draw the foul.
Otherwise known as
should have been a foul there, yes.
Butterfingers.
And there's no cards for Amy Butterfield tonight.
Game's not over.
Yeah, I was going to say, Amy, that is yours because... hang on, and Cassidy's going to have to go behind her here because Cassidy drew the foul there.
She should really let out an expletive.
And draw the yellow, you reckon?
Draw the yellow.
Draw the yellow rather than give it. So, ball with the Blue Warriors.
Ball with Wennon.
And I'm glad I didn't mark that goal down on my score sheet there from Zeph. That was a really nice little drive on the back side there.
Yep, well, I'd marked it down.
You had. We'll have to change the score sheet as Winnan walks in and just comes off the bar. So keeper didn't really see that one, but comes off the bar and Doster with the ball. Look at Fuss. She's got pace.
The effort, you've got to reward the effort.
Oh, Doster.
Shrugged her off.
Got to reward those efforts, don't you, Shix? Otherwise, people stop running for you.
Correct.
And if you pass the ball and that happens, you can always get it back.
Thorne here. Goes behind Zephyr. Fuss finds herself down at X.
Oh, it looks inside. Just that was coming out to us. We might get a touch here. Munn with his first touch of the night, straight under the camera. Geez. Mangan to pick the ball up. No, Amy Butterfield picks it up and off to the races. Couple of the young superstars of the South Australian League.
Ran herself in the
hey, Jesse Winnan's still online, mate.
Yes.
He says Addie Cunningham is killing it. I wonder how many saves Sam Kilford can make tomorrow. Well, he's going to have to make a few because we are playing Woodville. Oh, there's a collision about to happen.
Yeah.
And O'Malley, who's had an outstanding game tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what the ratio normally is there, Tone. The ratio for Kilford saving to Jesse Wennon shooting.
As Fuss puts one away.
Jesse could have 40 shots. I'm tipping he could have 40 shots, 20 within 2 feet of the cage.
I heard
10
he
on cage.
I heard he may have had a couple off target down at Brighton the other week.
And that's why I say I think he's got a new stick, and it's throwing a little...
Well, he obviously didn't get it from aussielaxgear.com.au.
No, he's a firm believer in stringing your own stuff, Jesse, and I love the way he goes about it. But I think his radar was just a little off last week.
So 13-4 is the score on our Living Choice scoreboard, and thanks to tradvc.com.au, 83763639 for all your Verandahs, Carports, roofing, guttering needs. I did hear a little rumour that maybe he was testing out the Brighton windows in the new clubroom.
Yeah, there was no rumour.
No rumour? Well, the good thing is that Sturt haven't had their new facilities built yet.
Yeah,
so he's got nothing to hit.
He might be able to focus his attention.
Although, if he lets him rip, you know what? There's a new expressway. Some cars might get a few surprises.
Well, so Jesse and Sam obviously know each other quite well
from the box.
through the Aussie box. So I would be expecting Sam to be copying a few right in and around the breadbasket tomorrow.
Hey, Jess, I'll ask you now. Are they coming from the restraining line? Just so I know how to set up my defence. But no, Jess is a great player, and it's always good when you come up against quality players. Oh, big Mel Williams wearing one there.
Oh.
And there's, Liv Parker just slipping over at the wrong time. Zeph, lots going on here.
There is.
And Indy Williams says, you know what, too much going on, I'm just going to take it on myself, and we might end up putting that one in the back of the net. And Indy Williams on the board again. That's her third for this evening.
Yeah, nice little float through there. Sold the dummy. Didn't even have to go to the left there in the end. Held it in the right, just pulled it back on Addie, got a good angle on her and finished away. The
stick skills of some of these women out here are superb, aren't they?
Yeah, amazing handles.
And here we go. We've got a few, the 2020 broadcast schedule. There's heaps of stuff coming up, Shicks. We obviously got the doubleheader tonight.
If you're playing along at home, have a look at that and make some sense of it, because I tell you what, it has me in an absolute scramble.
So we've got the 22nd of the 8th, Glenelg Burnside, the men's, under lights at 6:30.
Yeah,
and then round 9, we've got the Wilderness. We've got a triple header on round 9.
Wow.
So 2 women's game, and then the Glenelg Brighton game, and that's always a cracker given the first one. So that'll be great to be under lights. Unfortunately, we probably won't have your dulcet tones.
Where is that?
That will be at Brighton, I believe.
Okay.
So
no lights at Brighton.
There is no lights at Brighton. So I did hear though, on the rumour, that their lights might be held up. So that'll be an interesting concept for the association if
that's
that
right.
doesn't happen.
Turns out the Poles might have been at Brighton, but the Globes are at Beirut Port.
Oh.
Yeah.
The bomb.
Gone.
Hey, kaboom.
The Bombers Globes.
The Bombers Globes.
We're in Beirut.
Okay. So a goal there, and you can see here, just picks it up. Doster picks up the scrap and puts another one away. And Doster, that's her 4th of this evening as well. She's been outstanding tonight.
She has been.
So that'll be interesting, Shicks. Under lights with no lights. Maybe we can get one of those glow-in-the-dark balls. That'd add a whole new concept. It'd be really difficult to commentate.
Yep. Oh, look, it is too. Glenelg vs Brighton again. So
under lights at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Down at, and then round 10, Brighton Woodville, and that could be a pretty integral matchup at Brighton Woodville.
Uber Eats has arrived.
Because
tonight I'll be eating chips from North Adelaide Lacrosse Club.
But we're Farnsy, Barnsy and Arnsy. So Olivia Parker with the ball, just trying to bust through as Sutton.
Oh, nice little roll back, Kim Sutton.
Oh, hello. Kim
Inside
Sutton popping that one.
Pure beauty.
That's on the offside hip, as we see here on the Living Choice instant replay. Just pops it down.
Yeah.
Just overcommit there for the defender, and then pops that one past lane. So a late one there for Sutton.
Yep. Nice finish too. Very
good finish. And we heard the 2-minute bell go, so it's in stop clock now. So less than probably a minute 40 to go, Shicks.
Yep.
We're at 15-4.
I didn't hear the bell go either, did you? The Uber Eats, he just helped himself straight in, didn't he? Jeez. They're not shy around here, are they? Mind you, he's not the first one to help himself in around here too, I wouldn't have thought.
As the ball goes back to the centre, Charlotte finding herself in the centre for the first time, I reckon, tonight against the Mallee.
Yeah, she's been
I don't remember her having taken one.
She's been just left to centre all night, unfortunately.
Varga
Pace
kicks
down
it
the
down to
far
Mangan.
side.
Mangan looking for cutters here.
Yep. And there's another one. 3 cutters through. Zeph Williams, Eloise Rowe.
Abby Thorne.
Yeah. Down in front of Ali Dodge. Nice little ISO here.
So ball kicks down the back.
Gee, it's been a real spread tonight, hasn't it, Tone, for the
Well,
for the
O'Malley,
girls? O'Malley's been good.
O'Malley's been good.
Yeah. Ooh,
And that one's just popped over. Kiralee McKay. But look at the pressure. Like, she must think she's in a yellow circus, given the fact that Eloise Rowe's now in front of her. And Kit McKay just tiptoeing the tulips, but the white line just found her. But we're going to get a push.
Yeah.
That's how she got there.
Yep.
As the coach has asked, how did she get there?
Yep. Well,
That's how she got there.
she was running.
But you saw Kit pick up the ball and head off. She had 2 Brighton Bombers, then another one, and then one got in front of her. So she's had 4. So there's got to be 3 players around.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're just, not finding those. And another big shout out to AussieLaxGear.com.au, Mr. Peter Greenhow.
Yeah, he's sold out, so
He's sold out. He's going home.
Sold out,
He made it down here.
He did. He did.
So for all your lacrosse needs, get on to Pete at AussieLaxGear.com.au. And we'll see him tomorrow. He'll probably pop up. Jesse with about 4 or 5. So he's a man you're going to have to watch.
Pete or Jesse?
No, Pete.
Okay, yep. Doubling the ball here with Olivia Parker. She's done a power of work tonight, but she
coming
is
down. Here we go.
absolutely puffed. So look at them.
1-on-1. Taylor Mangan. Tam. Taylor. Tam.
Good
Taylor.
finish.
And Taylor gets a goal. That's her first of the evening.
Yeah.
And we're out to a 16-5 game now.
Yeah, just short on a few answers, aren't they? The Woodville girls. Unfortunately, sorry, the Woodville Sturt, the Warriors, Blue Warriors.
The Blue Warriors, just as the game's gone on, that real movement they had in the offense has just disappeared. And,
Yeah.
but you're up against a quality side who are putting an immense amount of pressure.
Half-time score, I think we had 5-2.
It was 5-2.
5-2.
So it's an 11-3 last half.
Yeah, yep. They have been throwing with the wind.
I've been on the back of one of those this year with Brighton men's. 11-3.
Have you?
Yeah, 11-3 first half, 11-3 second half. So what do we reckon, Shicks? Player of the game? Obviously, Colleen O'Malley did a great job.
Yep.
Doster did a great job.
Yeah, Doster threw 4. She did a lot of work.
Doster was really good in the centre, though.
O'Malley for me.
O'Malley, I think Colleen O'Malley too. Personally, I think she. And when the game was in the bout, it was 5-2. But they when it really mattered, didn't it? Colleen O'Malley stood up and popped 3 away, I reckon.
Just very good at both ends of the field, Tone. I thought her help defence, or her individual defence was quite good. Help defence was fantastic. Got on the scoreboard. A couple of times there in the 3 in the third, didn't she get? 3 in the third.
3 in a row.
For Woodville, Charlotte Wenham was okay, quiet throughout most.
Olivia Parker battled hard.
Yeah, she did.
Young Mia Inge did a great job too.
She did. So she'll only grow with more confidence and more ball on the stick and get herself acquainted at this level.
As we see the Trish just going and having a chat about her Bombers performance.
Yeah. Yep.
And look at that. They're almost in order there, Shicks. Look at that. 5, 7, 9, 8. They could just switch around a little.
Phone number, is it?
Something like that. Well, there's the 2. 289 719.
Oh, God. 1300.
As
help me.
the light's really still shining here. And the last game of the round tomorrow, obviously we spoke about, was Sturt take on Woodville.
We mentioned it
tomorrow. And if we can keep the weather like this, although I did hear some inclement weather was on its way tomorrow, so which wouldn't be the worst thing for the Sturt ground tomorrow, because it was bloody hard the other night. I don't know what Glenelg's been like. You're a sand base.
We are sand-based.
Very sand-based.
Very sand-based. Olivia O'Malley tonight, best on ground. Well done. How do you,
That's all right.
How do you think? How do you think the team went?
I think we played an awesome team game. It was everybody had a touch on the ball, and it was awesome just moving the ball around. I don't know exactly on the score sheet, but I feel like it was almost all of us on there.
Spread, yeah.
It was a really good spread. You got 3 in a row there when the game was sort of at that 5-2 mark, and you just asserted your authority.
Had enough of a close game?
Yeah, just, we want to play our game as Bombers, and that's what we try to do every day. So
really impressed with the riding. Like we saw 3 or 4 times there with that clear from Addie that either got knocked down, pushed down, or when they did get it, you had 3 Bomber players on one and turned the ball over more than not. So
yeah, I definitely thought tonight our riding was probably the best I've seen all season. We've been working really hard on it, just trying to swarm and suffocate the ball, and that way they don't have any easy passes out.
And it's good to get results for that hard work as well. You guys got a few layups towards the end there as well.
yeah,
Which is good.
and a couple of those young players really standing up for the Brighton Bombers at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. We've been playing with them for now like 2 years, so I don't think
It
of them
feels
as
like-
young anymore. They're just
Yep.
league players, and they're held to the high standard that we hold everybody to at Brighton.
And you personally, Colleen, all good? Feeling confident? Leg recovery? Come back from the knee, the ACL?
Yeah, so last season was my first time actually getting back. So I had the brace to start last year. So a bit nervous, but after getting that and then doing Aussies and stuff, I've just been able to toss that
And
thing
how
to the
is
side.
Aussies going?
Aussies is awesome.
Yeah.
We feel for the Victoria girls right now that they're, isolated.
Just can't
And
do
they,
anything.
so, we're very fortunate that we get to come out and we get to train twice a week with our own league and then with Aussies and then on top of a game. So we're very fortunate in that sense, and I'm really appreciative to be able to come out here and see more than just one teammate.
And the GPS tracker tonight may have done a few
Yeah.
clicks.
I don't know where we're at. I'll have to charge that at home,
Have to have
but
a
it
look at
worked.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were speaking before to Hannah Goffin in the first game, and obviously the men's team are about to basically get some of those, so when they do start running.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, obviously, everybody has the GPS watches now, but we're not allowed to wear those in the game, and those got a bit weird being in your sports bra. So
Well, my
glad
sports
these-
bra's not normally that bad because I don't move that far anyway.
Yes, so glad to have this instead of the watch there. Yeah.
Yeah, and really monitoring that with the
Yeah,
work
so
you're
it's
doing.
I know we've had instances some state league women are also reffing,
Yep.
but we're trying to monitor the amount of load we're doing so that way we're not suffering from injuries later on. So we're just slowly building up. It's like a 10% increase each week. That way we hopefully will stay away from injuries and all
that's
that.
Peak Fitness are doing Peak.
Yes,
You got
Peak
Peak,
is
so
yes.
Sean?
Yes, Sean is
looking
our
after you?
yes.
Yeah.
Sean's all all
So
over
you must
it.
be pleased to have him in South Australia, obviously based in South Australia.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, before COVID, he was doing once a week. SA girls could go if you weren't part of the gym. Far drive for some of us.
Yep.
But so once a week we were doing that as well. But it's also been awesome having him, especially through COVID, because he has been jumping on and doing at-home programs for the Vic, so that they actually
Yeah, I've
are
heard they've
there.
had the Zoom.
Yeah, so
You've
we're
had the
doing.
Zoom
Yeah, so it's on
as a
Facebook
group?
Live. Yeah, so it's Facebook Live. So up Sunday morning. And it is actually a team thing, so they're all on there at once, and they can all still feel inclusive that we are doing things as a team.
Yeah, and given the fact that Worlds is coming a lot quicker than what the men's are.
Yes. Well, yeah.
And Sean's workload there at Peak just about to be increased, Tony, I believe. Is that right?
Well,
Doing
don't-
such a good job with the girls.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so
But,
still to be decided.
I haven't heard anything
We're
of
breaking all
that.
the
I
news here, Colleen. We're
mean,
breaking all the news.
don't steal them from us.
No, look, you've got a job to do, and that's not far away, given the conditions we're in, and we hope nothing changes for that.
Yeah,
'cause,
less than a year. We're
It's
less
not far
than a year
away,
out,
is it?
Yeah.
It's not far away, but you're looking fit, you're looking really good, and you must be pleased with your own performance. And
Yeah.
congratulations on being the Living Choice Player of the Round tonight. It's great to be able to speak to you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Good job,
Thank
Colleen.
you.
You get a TV for tonight's performance.
Oh,
Yeah, you can take
Hang
this
on.
one here.
perfect.
Do we gotta-
Tom will love that.
Oh, we need it for the new house.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah,
Just off the.
it's good. Yeah, I mean, he should be watching. We're not actually sure if he's on there or not.
He
you
was earlier.
He was
Oh,
earlier.
did he like?
commented it as well?
He
Yeah,
did.
so I said he had to comment, so I knew he was watching, but
yeah.
I'm sure he
He said,
dripped out.
We tried to give him a shout out.
He said, gee, Colleen's playing very well tonight.
Yeah, but now you can go home and say, look, the traditional player of the round. When's the
Yeah.
last time you got it, Tom?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is he? He's not playing Sturt. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
You
good.
never know. Never know. All right. Well, congratulations. We'll let you go and
no
get
worries.
back and check your GPS. But great job tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All
right.
Good job.
Thanks so much.
Well done.
All right. So a couple of big games here tonight, Shicks.
Yes.
And we are in the midst of wrapping it up here down as the party music goes on in the background here at the Chook Park.
It does. The atmosphere is still here, still rising. Good atmosphere provided by the North Adelaide. They've got the barbecue running, the noise, the music. It's pretty good.
It is.
Pretty good all round.
And a couple of big thank yous tonight. Paul on the camera, rookie camera.
Debut, yeah.
Great job.
Debut.
Braden Munn, obviously, for the second game. He's a regular and does a great job as well.
Veteran, yep.
Huge thank you to Jen Adams for coming on and having a chat with us. And obviously Marty Baker behind the scenes in the production.
Bringing some real professionalism to the show, wasn't she?
She really did. And
we got the update there, Tone. We mentioned it earlier. A couple of games, or the schedule coming up there. So
on the we've got there. The round 8, we have the men's game under lights down at Glenelg Burnside. That's a big one for you.
That will be a good one, yeah.
Get away from there. And then round 9, that's the triple header down at the new Brighton.
The Bomberdrome.
Superdrome, isn't it?
Yeah,
and that'll be great. I believe that we may be commentating from up top.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That'll be nice little view up the top.
Yep.
So we'll have the Wilderness Blue Warriors first game at 4, then we'll have Glenelg Brighton at 6, and then the big game for the men's and women's, both Glenelg Brighton games. So that's always a huge day, isn't it, when Glenelg Brighton are a massive
of
combatants.
Course. Just down the road there, the local derby, I guess you call it. Derby? What do we call that here?
A derby.
Derby,
Well, I've got derby, you say derby.
Oh, yeah.
You say potato, I say potato.
Yeah.
You know? And then we're going to round out before the finals and what may come down to a critical game, potentially to be second or third or fourth.
Or top.
Or top, who knows, with what the second round is going to be with Woodville and Brighton. So, and then we get into the finals, and it seems to have happened really quickly here in South Australia, but it's glad that we can be playing lacrosse.
Have they locked away locations yet, Tone?
Not as yet, I don't think. I think they're about to put out the tenders for
Exciting news.
Look,
soon, so stay involved there.
And shout out to the South Australian people. I know Victoria is suffering at the moment, and we feel for them. You know, we'd love them to be playing.
Hashtag stay the
home.
Truck at home.
Okay.
I mean,
stay at home. Look after your
do all those
fellow
things.
human beings.
Yep.
Okay.
And we feel for those who are involved
And
in
they're doing the right.
Theberton High School scenario. We hopefully that gets we get to the back end of that nice and quickly.
The greatest thing about being locked down is you get to watch LSA TV and us on it.
You get to hang out with yourself. There's no better person.
No better person, is there? So we're looking forward for heaps of lacrosse coming up here on LSA TV. Really looking forward to bringing it to you, and hopefully the weather warms up as we get towards the summerish months.
Yep.
But we're glad you could all join us on Lacrosse SA TV for this double header between the Blue Warriors and Brighton. Brighton running out the big winners that game, and
16-5.
And then the first game, obviously, Burnside up against Wildy, and that might have just been the death knell for Wildy.
Yeah, good hard-fought win, 8-7, I think they're in there.
8-7, so now Burnside certainly put their way up. So congratulations to the winners and commiserations to the teams on the other end of that tonight. But look, on behalf of myself, Tony Watts, and
Craig
Schicker, coming up to the voice of Australian lacrosse as well, mate.
You are,
No, definitely not. But it's been great you could join us here on LSA TV. Until the next time, the sticks are swinging. We'll catch you then.